Today I'm going to be talking about the topic of sovereign soul leadership. And where this topic came from is I'm part of a beautiful collective called Paradigm Shifters. It is this 3-week New Earth Leadership Intensive course. And the first week initiation is to talk about things that we've never shared about before. And when I was meditating, when I was figuring out what topic I wanted to talk about that I had never talked about before, it really came to me that I had never talked about the topic that was like the first module of the Paradigm Shifters course. And being a leadership course, I was like, wow, it would be so powerful if I stepped up in my own leadership and led my own way through this course by talking and sharing my, downloads and messages about this specific topic. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys today a little bit about my perspective or the messages I'm receiving about sovereign soul leadership. So I'm just going to tune in there a little bit, allowing the Akashic Records to open. And surrounding everybody who is watching this, whether you're watching this on the Instagram Live or whether you're going to be watching this on the replay or the YouTube replay, surrounding them in a golden light, in the blue ray of divine will, allowing you to receive what you're meant to from this transmission. So what is a sovereign soul leader? First of all, I really feel like a sovereign soul leader is somebody who leads from their soul. It is not somebody who listens to the linear mind and listens to the ego, but somebody who is able to hear that ego, hear that mind, and then go deeper and further into what the soul is speaking, to what the soul is saying. I believe that the sovereign soul leader is the one that allows themselves to go first, is the person that isn't really looking for anybody else to validate them or anybody else to encourage them on, who's completely okay with just being their sovereign self, being their unique multidimensional self without, putting any form of constraints on it. So I really feel like the sovereign soul leader allows us, or is a version of ourselves that is not constricted at all. The sovereign soul leader is just this open version of ourself. The word authenticity is just screaming through me as I'm talking about this. Really feel like, and just, of course, whenever I'm channeling anything, some light language and movements are going to come through. But I really feel like the sovereign soul leader is the one who, it's really the one who's going to be in a leadership position. It's really the person that is going to be someone that might be so many steps ahead of everybody else in their realm. The sovereign soul leader, I feel, attracts a lot of people into their physical reality that are, that are maybe a few steps behind them. But the sovereign soul leader does not judge the people who are appearing to be a few steps behind them, whether this is an evolution or consciousness. The sovereign soul leader recognizes that they are the leader, that they are meant to be somebody who is a few steps ahead, because as they are expressing themselves in their sovereign soul leadership, they are guiding the people who are just a few steps behind to step up and embody their own leadership. When we think of the term leader, we kind of think of like the dual. We think of leader and we think of follower. And so the leader recognizes that there are people who are going to look up to them. Very different from what I believe that, ego leadership is. I feel like the sovereign soul leader does not see themselves as higher than the person that they are leading. I believe that the sovereign soul leader sees the people that they are leading or guiding as complete and total equals. They don't see in hierarchy. They don't see that, if somebody's a few steps in evolution behind, they don't see this as they're better. They don't see this that they're worse. They're just seeing it that, hey, like there are these people who are just at a different state of consciousness than me right now. And I'm here to guide them. I'm here to lead them. So powerful. And again, with that is the sovereign soul leader is powerful. The sovereign soul leader is this magnetic, fragrant, embodied force, but not force in like a really toxic masculine way, but this force in this like, just like this magnetic field that just brings in and draws in and attracts in all that they are meant to, you know, do, achieve, experience, those that they are meant to teach, serve, guide. I really feel like the sovereign soul leader, they know it inside. You know that you're a sovereign soul leader. You know that you are. You know that you are. This is a feeling, right? This is a feeling within our body, sovereign soul leadership. It's not, and it can be something that we do or express or be. And while it is so much so a feeling. As opposed to the opposite side of egoic leadership, this is so much of an outward, external, you know, reaction, experience. The sovereign soul leader is this state of being. And when they are in the state of being of their own sovereignty, of their own soul essence, they're able to bring out this sovereignty, bring out this soul essence, and allow all the people around them to feel it, to be guided by their energy, right? Because I feel like the sovereign soul leader is also somebody that guides by their energy. They don't necessarily believe just in this physical, palpable, tangible, I can feel, I can see, I can hear. The sovereign soul leader knows that there's a quantum field around them, right? The sovereign soul leader knows that they are tapped into infinite potential at all moments of any given time. The sovereign soul leader knows that they can create whatever they would like to create, when they would like to create it. The sovereign soul leader knows that they are powerful because their power comes from within. Their power does not come from anything external to them. Their power has been sourced from within. Now, on this other like message that's channeling through is sovereign soul leadership, but in women. So lead hership, which is a word that was channeled to me in March. When we're talking about feminine sovereign soul leadership, we are talking about leading people from the divine feminine. We are talking about leading people from our womb space. We are talking about leading from the expansiveness of who we are. We are together, we break the matrix. Yes, but we don't even break it with force. We just create a new world, right? We don't like push things or break things or do all this like forceful leadership. We really create and lead from a place of being, essentially speaking that who we are in this moment and how we act, the things that we do every day, you know, the foods that we eat, the way that we communicate with people, that is what rises us out of the matrix. That is what breaks us out of the matrix, is just our state of being. I feel like the sovereign soul leadership is just so gentle and soft, and as well going into that feminine sovereign soul leadership again, it is really the idea that we are leading from the womb space. We are leading from the idea or the concept that the womb is connected to the earth and the womb is connected to the cosmos. Therefore, through the womb can channel out this powerful, powerful, powerful energy of leadership, right? And this is how we anchor in more of a feminine, fifth dimensional matrix of leadership, is when women step up into their feminine leadership, into their womb awakenings, and lead from this place of purity. They lead from a place of innocence. They lead from a place of wholeness and totality. Gently dissolve. Yes, I love it. Yeah, it's just so embodied and so full. I'm going to just tune in to see if anything else wants to flow out about sovereign soul leadership before I hop off of here. So what's really coming through as this last thing is that sovereign soul leadership, it's something that comes from within first. You know, it's not something that's without us. It's not something that we can find. And interestingly enough, yes, Kuan Yin is beautiful. It is not something that we can find or seek out, while it's something that we can receive and learn about. It's something that we feel. Like when you are receiving this transmission and I'm guiding you and I'm teaching you about sovereign soul leadership, what's really happening is you're receiving the codes underneath my words, and these codes are moving through your cells, your quantum field, and your DNA, and they are resonating with your body because you're feeling the message that I'm saying. It's not just surface level words, and I think that's where the opposite duality of that of ego-based leadership is, because it's really just words, linear mind, whereas sovereign soul leadership is something that's felt, right? And when we speak from our souls, when we lead from our souls, we're transmitting feelings, right? We're very in tune with our emotions, and that also has to do with the feminine leadership. A lot of, distorted egoic leadership, it doesn't lead with feelings at all. It doesn't include feelings or gentle or love or caring. These are all parts of, the feminine sovereign soul leadership. I'm being guided to pull a card from my Lemurian deck before I hop off of here today. I wasn't anticipating doing that, so I'm just grabbing this deck now. Just pulling a card to see the last message that wants to come out about sovereign soul leadership today. And if you like these videos, I'm gonna honestly, every time that I have a class within this leadership community, I'm gonna have a live and then put it on YouTube and such after to lead myself through this course in natural sovereign soul leadership vibes. So just a message from the higher realms, the multidimensional realms, about sovereign soul leadership. Message from the higher realms. I love when the cards fly like that. These are a lot of cards, so I'm gonna tangle this into a really nice overall paragraph. Okay, so the cards that came out are Observe, Beyond Cycles, Creation, Elders, and Whale Teaching. So I feel like what this message really is that sovereign soul leadership is something that helps us move beyond old patterns because we are observing them from a higher perspective. Beyond even this, it is something that we are creating. Sovereign soul leadership is something that's being created as each individual steps into their sovereign soul leadership, right? This is something that we are creating together. We are co-creating. And it's very interesting because two of the cards that came out about this. Thank you. Wow, from Sweden. I love Sweden. I will visit there one day. Two cards that came out of this were Elders and Whale Teaching, and both of these cards are about mentoring. Literally, both cards say wisdom and mentor. So I believe that the sovereign soul leader is meant to be a mentor of the new paradigm. They are meant to be the people that are really stepping up because they have gone beyond the cycles. They've gone beyond the cycles of doubt. They've gone beyond the cycles of fear. They've been able to come up and look at this higher perspective of everything that's going on in the world. And they recognize that they are here to create a new world. They're here to create this new paradigm. They are here to really embody what it means to be anchored in with the fifth dimension, with raising the frequency of the planet, with ascension. They are the leaders and the guides. Sovereign soul leaders are the new government. They are the new earth government, which is something that is like just such a huge interest for me, because I was actually like accepted into law school before I went on this spiritual path. So I've always like been interested in how that's going to tie into my journey, and definitely known that I had a role on this like new earth government type of thing. But sovereign soul leadership, being a sovereign soul leader, that is the new government, right? It's not a group of people letting go of all that no longer serves us and rising up to all that does. Yes, just like shedding it like a snake and like coming into the truth of who we are meant to be, but beyond our linear mind, something greater and bigger than we could ever be. Yeah, that feels good. That feels right. Okay, I'm gonna hop off now. If you really enjoyed this, please send me a direct message. I would love to know if you like when I go live, if you like the messages I'm sharing. Feel free to like message me something that really resonated with you. I'd be so grateful to hear your feedback. Sending you all so much